It's gotten harder and harder to make your mark as a filmmaker with so much high caliber work coming out every single day, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. In this video, I wanted to discuss some tips on how to transition from a film worker into a filmmaker. There's sort of a new wave to come up as a filmmaker these days by sharing your work online in hopes of the right person seeing it, but before it was about climbing up the ladder, becoming a camera trainee, then a second AC, and then a first AC, and then a camera operator, and then finally a DP, or going through the grip and electric route, which is sort of what I'm doing. But never before has filmmaking been this accessible to people with the internet and how cheap cameras are. But this is both a blessing and a curse because, yes, it's more accessible to people, but also now it is super saturated. This doesn't mean it's impossible to become a DP or director, but it's going to take a lot of time, hard work, and patience. But that leads me to my first point of actually making this transition happen, working on film sets. By working on set, you're going to learn so many things like how set dynamics are run, learn how to communicate with other crew members, and see what it actually takes to work on set. It doesn't matter what position you start off in, whether that's a production assistant, locations, grip, electric, camera, as long as you break into the industry to start, and from there you can navigate getting into the position you want to get into. For the past 5 years now, I've been working in the lighting department on film sets, and this has really been such a great stepping stone few years for me because not only have I tried to work my way up the ladder, but I've also tried to shoot passion projects on the side to get more jobs as a DP. This has given me so many learning opportunities because not only have I learned a ton about lighting, but it's also taught me a ton of time management skills, like how long it'll take to set up a certain thing. Not only that, but if you have the opportunity to take on roles like a best boy, you'll learn managerial skills like learning to fill out timesheets, learning how to communicate with production, and making gear lists. You'll also meet like-minded crew members that are trying to work their way up the ladder, so you can always grab their contact information. And for me, I work under a ton of gaffers that are super helpful because they'll donate some gear when I go out to shoot my own projects, and they'll even come out for a discounted rate. A lot of people just want to be fast-tracked into DPing or directing, but I really think there's so much you can learn by working on other film sets, and I really think this is just a crucial step on the ladder. It's easy to get bummed out if you feel like this transition is not happening fast enough, but keep in mind you probably won't hit the ground running, especially if you're trying to aim for a head of department role or a DP. Sure, there are cases where people just shoot something and now all of a sudden they're in this position of DP or director on these really big film sets, but that's sort of a rare case of things and just another reminder of don't compare yourself to other people. That leads me to my next point, shoot passion projects. Passion projects is a crucial part in making this transition happen. If you know an artist that needs a music video, collaborate with them on shooting something, or if you know a small business that needs a video, go the extra mile, do some pre-production, plan a cool project, and shoot something for them. I've done this countless of times when I was first starting out. I would try to find a subject with an interesting story and shoot a small documentary around them, or I would shoot a spec project to show what I'm capable of. It'd be nearly impossible to get hired for work if you don't have any work to show for in your portfolio to show that you're a legible filmmaker. That's why it's going to take some time and initiative to go out yourself and shoot some projects. Even some directors and DPs that are at the top of the game are still going out and creating passion projects because they either want to get into commercial work or narrative stuff, or simply because they don't want to lose that fire in them that is the whole reason why they got into this industry. This is where a lot of people can get weeded out because it requires you to be proactive, and I really think it's important to ask yourself, do I like being seen as a filmmaker or do I like actually making films? Unfortunately, no one's going to just hand you opportunities on a platter. It's something that you sort of have to fight for, which is going to take a lot of time, money, and patience. It's also easy to get discouraged during this phase because I know how long passion projects can take. They can take up to weeks, months, even years sometimes. And it's just really important not to give up during this phase because I promise you, if you're at it for long enough, then things will inevitably happen. This is a phase I'm still in myself. I've invested a few thousands of dollars at this point in spec work and passion projects, but hopefully when I reach out to production companies and directors, they'll see that and see that I'm a creditable filmmaker and hopefully hire me from there. You'll also learn a ton by doing your own projects. If you have a limited budget, well, you have to get creative and figure out how to make your idea happen with that amount of money. The point of passion projects and spec work is to have them look more expensive than they actually are, because hopefully that way you can level up and land more jobs. If you know you're capable of creating good work, then go out and make it happen and just take a bet on yourself. Try to find like-minded individuals that are down to help out on your projects and just set a budget for yourself and say, with X amount of money, I'm gonna make a project happen for that amount. Use your resources to your advantage. If you know a cool location or a cool subject, then write your creative around that. One of the first passion projects I shot, I set a budget for myself of $500, and I shot everything in this room right here, and you'd be surprised with the results you can achieve if you put your creativity to use. Sharing your process online. A new way to come up as a filmmaker these days is by sharing yourself online. There's so many filmmakers in this niche now that have landed dream projects because they've gone out and shared their process on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. This can land you job opportunities since your audience is most likely filmmakers, and if they know you're a filmmaker from Toronto, for example, they can hit you up through email and hopefully hire you. Not only that, but you'll get opportunities to receive stuff from brands, which I'm very fortunate of, because now I can actually use this equipment on my shoots. It can also act as a secondary income, which is super important, especially as a freelancer, because you don't have to be waiting for the phone to ring to make an income. We have a visitor right now. By posting behind the scenes stuff, you'll also look like a busy working filmmaker, which is sort of a game you have to play, unfortunately. But also when other people get work, they might have you at the top of their mind because, you know, they saw an Instagram story of you working, which can hopefully land you more work. Even after posting my latest behind the scenes videos, I've had people reach out to me for potential gigs, which I don't think would have otherwise happened if I didn't share those videos online. The first few years of posting on this platform, you were sort of painted as the YouTube filmmaker, which is something I used to be so worried about. But now I see this gap actually closing because more people from the industry are actually posting on this platform. This can be scary to do at first, but keep in mind your page isn't for your friends and your family. If you're trying to start a legitimate brand for yourself, then it's going to be for other filmmakers that will find value in your content. You'd be surprised with the feedback you'd get from other filmmakers, which leads me to my next point: meet other directors and collaborators. Throughout your whole career, you're going to have to network and try to meet people. And when doing that, it's important not only to just network with people that are further along than you, but also people that are on the same playing field with you and even a few steps back. This could mean trying to find up-and-coming directors that are also trying to build their portfolio. Don't get discouraged when you reach out to people and they don't reply. This still happens to me because I'm trying to reach out to people that are further along in their careers, but it doesn't hurt to try. There's also a right and a wrong way to reach out to people. I know this because by having this channel, I've had people reach out to me by just saying, yo, let me shoot your next project, something along those lines, and I go to their page and they don't have any work or credibility to back them up. I'm not saying it's bad to try to reach out to people and shoot your shot, but I think it's important to have work in your portfolio to back yourself up. Even when you meet a new director or potential collaborator, this doesn't always mean you're gonna get work right away. You sort of have to foster these relationships over time and just build a rapport with people. Finding these connections are very similar to dating. If you go for coffee and drinks and there's chemistry there, then hopefully it can lead to paying work. The best way I find collaborators is either through mutual connections, industry events, or Instagram. I recommend making a list of potential directors, producers, production companies, editors, anyone that you want to collaborate with. That way, when you do have work to back yourself up, you know exactly who to message. Like that saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. If you like this video and want to see another video like this, then check out this one I have queued up right here. Thanks for watching.